Yay! I am officially going back to Canada, and that's why I've been researching about the travel restrictions. How am I going to do this hotel stopover? I am going to share with you all the things that I've researched about. That's why you have to watch until the end of this video. Hello beautiful humans, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kath Dee. I am an international student in Canada, but I am currently here in Philippines. I post YouTube videos about being an international student, my experience in Canada, and about lifestyle. So if you like that kind of content, please do subscribe to my channel, hit the like button below, and subscribe. So, Canada announced that they will have Quarantine Act and all the procedures. If I'm not mistaken, February 22, 2021, they announced the travel restrictions in Canada. This includes the hotel stopover, 14 days quarantine, mandatory 14 days quarantine, and all of the things that we should know. Kasi these are not a joke. Hindi to hindi to like charot-charot lang, no? People are getting sick, people are dying. So we should follow the rules, we should follow the regulations. Also to help not only for yourself but also to help other to help protect other people, to help fight against COVID-19, right? That's why I saw the need for me to share this with you. Lalo na I have few people who messaged me that they are going to travel soon in Canada, and that's why we all need to need this information, and we should all be aware of this information. So we are going to start with the preparations before flight. Next is boarding to your flight, to arriving in Canada, until completing your 14 days quarantine. So I'm gonna share with you my checklist, or the checklist that is provided to us by the government, no? So yes, COVID-19 really make things harder for us to travel, for us to do what we wanted, but even though the situation is very hard right now, we must persist and of course continue our dreams, continue our plans, of course while taking precautions and obeying the rules and regulations of Quarantine Act or of the location that we are going to travel with. So let's start. Okay, before we travel, we must know that we are eligible to travel to Canada. You can find that out, or you can find out if you're eligible to go to Canada by using Canada's website. The link is in my description box below. So ito siya, yung interface niya. So there are questions for you there, for you to answer, like what's your status, what's your reason to go to Canada. So there will be questions like that on the website. So next is, you have to be aware of the provincials or territorial restrictions. So like for example, most of the provinces or territories have the Quarantine Act where you need to quarantine for 14 days upon arriving to Canada. So that's one for like the whole provinces and territories. So you have to go through each province. For example, you're going to go to Vancouver. You have to research if there are specific restrictions that you need to follow. Next is, you have to have a quarantine plan. So in order for you to create a quarantine plan, you have to assess yourself, like when are you going to arrive in Canada, where are your quarantine locations, where you're going to stay for isolation. You have to know which or where you're going and how will you get there. So you have to have a plan like that. So in order for you to create a quarantine plan, you have to submit the plan through ArriveCan mobile application or website. So you can download that in your phone, or you can go to the website. So I'm gonna link it down below, no? So in the app, there will be series of questions that they are going to ask you, such as your contact information, where is your 3-night hotel reservation, travel details, accommodation after your 3 nights in hotel, and other stuff. There's a lot of questions there, and we can create another video about that. Number 4, for before you travel, you have to prepare a COVID-19 swab test within 72 hours of your scheduled departure time of your flight to Canada. So 72 hours is 3 days. So you have to get the PCR test, not the antigen, because that's more accurate. You have to keep a proof of that result because the immigration might ask you to show that documents to them as a proof that you don't have COVID-19. As far as I know, you also have to submit that in the Arrive Canada application. Next is for 5th, you will have to reserve the 3-night hotel stopover or hotel stay in the province that you are going to stay. The hotel you're going to book should be one of the government authorized hotels. So I have the link in my description box below to know what are the hotels that are authorized by the government. You have to prepay the accommodation, and you should keep the receipt as a proof that you already paid or you have the accommodation when you arrive in Canada. Some hotels offers direct online booking in their website, but some don't, so you have to call these numbers. So you can't just call the hotel and book with them. You have to go through this number because the government wants or need to monitor you and other travelers that get inside the Canada. Syempre, to ensure protection na rin, di ba? And to ensure your health na then if you're going to be okay while you are in the quarantine. Just like in Philippines, Canada now mandate that people who are exiting the airport should take a PCR COVID test. So, yung tusok-tusok sa ilong. You are recommended to register for the swab test beforehand. But you can skip that part. But you will still register at the airport and then get into line. But if you already register na beforehand, diba? You will just go in line at the airport. So less exposure na din. That will be for before your flight. Recap lang. Before you travel to Canada, you should know that you are eligible. Next is you have to be aware of the restrictions and other regulations on the provincial or territories that you're going to travel. Third is you have to have quarantine plan. You have to register at ArriveCan mobile applications or website for you to submit your quarantine plan. Fourth, you have to take COVID-19 test within 72 hours before your departure to Canada. Number 5, you have to reserve your 3-night hotel stopover. 6th is you have to register for the COVID-19 test. Okay, let's go to boarding your flight, no? Ayun na. Nasa airport ka na, no? You have to board your flight na. So first is make sure you have your ArriveCan in your mobile application, and because you have to show the receipt to the people in the airport, whoever they are. You also have to provide, or you also have a copy of your COVID-19 test, your pre-entry COVID-19 test. You have to wear your face mask, and dito sa Philippines, you have to wear face shield inside and outside the airport, as well as inside the craft. Third is prepare your proof of enrollment. If you're a student, because I'm a student, we're talking about being a student here, your proof of enrollment and your passport, your study and work permit, because you're also going to provide that at the airport. Okay, nasa plane ka na, you're already in the plane, and you're going to arrive in Canada. What are you gonna do? Here, first is border services officers will assess your ArriveCan receipt or your ArriveCan mobile application. So you have to show that again. Second is your COVID-19 test result, your pre-entry COVID-19 test result, hotel booking, your proof that you already have your book, that you already booked your hotel, and your quarantine plan. You should prepare all that because the border service officer will assess all of that. Second, you will have to take the COVID-19 test at the airport. So as earlier I mentioned that you have to register for that. But if you didn't, you can register at the airport. It might take a few minutes, but it will really not hurt you if you already register beforehand, no? Third is, after the test, you have to go directly to the hotel you are going to quarantine for 3 nights or 3 days. To get there, you have to drive from the airport to the hotel. But if you don't have car, it's okay because you can arrange a transportation with the hotel you are going to stay with, because that's one of their duties, no? To transport you safely to their hotel, to their facilities. So that's it for arriving in Canada. Next is, and this is also another super important thing that you have to follow. So last day is completing your 14-day quarantine. As mandated, you are required to go through 14 days quarantine. 3 days of those days are you're going to stay with the hotel, and the 11 days will be at your chosen place. Also, on the 10th day of your quarantine, you will have to take another COVID-19 test. So you will be provided a COVID-19 at-home specimen collection kit to use for your test. The instruction for that on how you will take the test will be given to you at the airport as well, or it will be at the kit. So you have to take a test by yourself, no? To clarify na din, your day 1 will start on the first day of your quarantine at your hotel stopover. Unang-una sa lahat, you're going to wait for your COVID-19 test result that you took at the airport, at Canada Airport. So, you'll have to wait for that in your hotel for 3 days. If you receive a negative result on your arrival test, you may be able to move on to the next phase of your isolation. You must have a suitable plan for your quarantine. So how will you transport from hotel to the isolation place you're going? So you have to have a plan for that. So if in case you have to book another flight after you arrive in Canada, you can do that after your 3 days quarantine at the hotel, or after you receive your COVID-19 test result and it's negative. If you receive a positive result and hopefully not, you have to stay in your room, no? And wait for the call of Public Health Agency of Canada, or PHAC, because they are the people who monitor the people who quarantine, who travel in Canada. So they will call you if they saw that you tested positive on the COVID-19 test. So just be careful, okay? Because we are all at risk if we're traveling. So let's just be careful. If you are traveling to Calgary, Montreal, or Vancouver airports, you have to register for day 10 test once you arrive at hotel. This is for you to be notified that you're going to take your COVID-19 test on your 10th day. Pero if you arrive in Toronto, you don't have to register, but still, you have to undergo with the day 10 tests. After that, after your quarantine at hotel, you have to go directly to your isolation place kung saan nyo plan nyo to continue your quarantine. You may drive to your new location. You may arrange another transportation with your hotel, or you can ask someone to pick you up from the hotel to your location, to your place. Now, if you're asking someone to pick you up, make sure that you have a copy of that person's or the driver's license or valid ID, and of course the plate number of the car as well. So yun lang naman yung mga checklist you have to remember if you're going to travel back to Canada, or if you are going to travel to Canada. So you have to remember that, you have to obey those regulations, you have to be aware of all that, because we are not exempt of the fines or consequences of violating these rules. If you fail to comply, or if you violate the rules of Quarantine Act, it can lead to imprisonment or a huge ass fine. If you violate the instructions given to you, you could be in prison for 6 months, or you will be fined for 750,000 Canadian dollars. If you break your mandatory quarantine or isolation requirements and you cause death or serious bodily harm to another person, gosh, you could pay a fine up to $1 million or imprisonment up to 3 years, or maybe both. We all have the responsibility to know the regulations, to know what are the quarantine act. I include all the links that you needed for quarantine plans, for everything that if you're going to travel to Canada during pandemic. It's all in my description box below, so please do check it out. And I'm still going to create more vlogs that will be focused on other stuff in this checklist. Stay tuned. Again, thank you so much for being here in my vlog. I really appreciate that you're watching my vlog, and your comments. I do appreciate your comments, and when you're reaching out to me in my socials, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and share my videos to your friends or to whoever you know that will travel to Canada very soon. So bye guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you stay healthy, happy, and kind to yourself and to others. Bye.